Hey there, folks. Welcome to Shelf Life. I'm Kimberly Dykman. Now, with each show, we bring you the authors behind some of the most amazing books hitting the shelves today. Thought-provoking and heart-wrenching, giving you the real people, the real purpose, and the real perspective behind them. And today is of a story called Halfway to Each Other. It's about an American family that found the real meaning of life with a radical, wonderful decision they made together. And the author is a devoted mother, educator, and just a well-rounded individual. Her name is Susan Pohlman. Please give a warm welcome to Susan.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
So nice to be here.
Let's talk about the current reality that you were in, living the wonderful American dream in Los Angeles. Everything seemed lovely, right?
Mm-hmm. Everything was lovely on the outside, let's put it that way. We lived in a great, beautiful neighborhood called the Santa Rosa Valley outside of Los Angeles. And we had a beautiful home and great jobs and two great kids in two different schools. And, you know, we just, our lives were filled with so many great things. But on the inside, we were having trouble. We were struggling. You just hit a point, I think, midlife, where you just kind of start to really reconsider, like, what are you doing and what makes you happy and what is happiness? You get to the point where, am I even happy anymore?
Yeah.
I just didn't really know what to do, and we tried counseling, and we did all the right things again to try to figure each other out, and we just seemed to have been growing in different directions, basically. And so I just came to a very difficult and very sad and decision that maybe it was time for us to part ways.
Right. And you had decided this prior to taking that one last business trip. You're going to be the supportive, happy wife.
Right.
You're in Italy, and you had plans for when you got back. But what happened on that trip? Because this is where people go, excuse me? What did you just say? You're going to do what?
You know, this is so hard to even relate. It was the craziest day of our life. So we were walking back along the sea, and we were in Santa Margarita, which is this beautiful, just gorgeous city on the Ligurian Sea, and you know, all the beautiful colored buildings and the trompe l'oeil painting and the flowers and the water and. You know, I mean, it was uncommonly romantic, and so we were walking along, and so Tim said to me, and he has said this on every vacation we've ever been on, so this was nothing new. He just said, "Oh, it's so pretty, I could live here." And so I was like, "Oh, yeah, I could live here too, sure." And so then, like, literally a couple seconds later, he looks at me and he goes, change of inflection, "I really could live here." And so he kept saying, you know, why can't we live here? You know, we could live here. And why don't we do this? And then all of a sudden the conversation became deeper and deeper, and we thought, you know, what is holding us back from this decision? And really it was just fear of the unknown.
Right. You tell your kids 2 months later, you're in Italy. You made this radical leap, crossed the ocean.
We did.
To a place you were so unfamiliar with, all four of you on a level playing field, right?
Right.
Dealing with lack of technology and transportation. No language skills, really.
None. We approached it with a sense of adventure, and we told the kids it's going to be great, it's going to be really fun. And we get over there, we had no idea what we were doing, like none. So we plop ourselves into this apartment, and we had to figure out, you know, how to, you know, hook up TV or internet or, you know, sign up for electricity. We just kind of floundered our way through it, you know, and set up a life.
True fish out of water story. And you end up staying there for practically a year, right? What was it? How did you evolve as a family then? Because this was less about achievement, it was more about adventures.
As time went by, there was just a coming together of sorts of just that had nothing to do with technology. No one could go play on their Game Boy or go play PlayStation or, you know, text message or anything. None of that was available to us anymore. And that became replaced with just playing cards together, exploring the different sea towns, all of the, you know, adventures of trying new food, listening to new languages. The whole thing was so rich in texture. Our senses were just full. I mean, every day you felt alive. I guess that's the best way of saying it. I felt alive every day.
So what was that evolution like between you and Tim? Because to this day, you're still together, obviously. You're back in the U.S., but what was so pivotal that changed? Was it just taking all the distractions and technology? Was it putting yourself in a place where no one knew what the story was going to be? What was it that's kept,
you
kept you together?
In retrospect, and this is not earth-shattering news, but it really is just about simplifying your life to the point where you have emotional space to work with. You know, we all of a sudden had all of this open space between us that wasn't already filled with things we already had to do. And so it gave you this opportunity to just be together without a checklist, you know. So we had these days of just getting up and saying, what do you want to do today? Let's just get on the train and just get off at some town, and we'd walk and discover and you know, enjoy the day together without, and that became our goal rather than such a goal-oriented life before. The goal was just, let's just be together.
Not everyone can just take such a leap. They say, well, there's no way we could sell our house, and there's no way so-and-so could quit their job. So for folks that are sitting here and laughing or nodding or crying and saying, I get it, oh my gosh, but I can't do that.
Life in America is complicated, and I now that we're back, you know, we struggle to keep this whole Italian aura alive. But really, it's about giving yourself permission to take things out of your life. And I think in America we have so many good choices. So all of these choices seem wonderful, and they are wonderful. And you keep wanting to grab each one. But I think that there's a danger in, again, having too much of a good thing. And so to give yourself permission to let go of things that you don't really need.
What I love is there's one point in the book where you say that essentially you acknowledge that you've been spending your money and probably time, energy, and effort getting the world to look at you versus you looking at the world, and that being the most important thing that allows you to simplify, right?
Right, and you know, I actually remember the moment that I had that realization, and we were on the train, and we were traveling between countries, and I was there's even a chapter in the book about how great it is to be on the train with your family, and watching the countryside change and seeing, you know, when you're in one country, when you're in Germany, everything looks Bavarian, and then you cross over into Italy, and immediately, like the next 5 feet, all of the homes look Italian.
Oh, wow.
You know, and then you see the changes of the signs and the language, and just how beautiful it is to observe things. And I realized then, you know, here we've been spending our money in a way that makes people look at us that we've accomplished something, when in reality such joy comes from viewing the world, spending our money to see the world and to experience life. That was profound for me, and I don't think I'll ever vary from that.
We like to ask folks, especially that have become authors, what is next in your shelf life? Because once a writer, always a writer.
Well, you know, I have always been a writer. This is the first time it's become something legitimate, and I have continued to write, and hopefully I have another book coming soon.
Well, we definitely look forward to that.
Thank you.
Susan, thank you so much for sharing your story. I'm sure it's going to perk up some fresh ideas in folks that are paying attention and then go out and get the book halfway to each other, that think, well, there are other options to living a wonderful American dream of their own dream and keeping their families together. So
yes,
thanks for inspiring us.
Thank you
really
very much for having me.
That.
Thank you.
You've been watching Shelf Life. I'm Kimberly Dykman, and please join us again for another fantastic show with another fantastic author. We'll see you real soon. Take care.